good evening or afternoon, whatever it is. I'm Walter Harshman, and I've been a longtime friend of Travis Wise. He and I started school back in 1946, and our birthdays were in December. So when we started school in September of 46, we were still 5 years old. And there were about 5 of us that had our birthdays late in the year like that. And I'm the only one left of all 5. All the rest of them have predeceased me. So this is a privilege to be able to recount my association with Travis especially. And we were friends all through high school. He was a sportsman, and I played in the band instead of sports. And one of the things I remember about him playing football, he was a guard, as I recall. And he was the gopher, sort of, for Coach Odom. And if there was any change in plans or a new plan that Coach Odom had, he would call Travis out. And Travis would run off the field, talk to the coach, run back in and give the news to the guy at the quarterback. And most games he was in and out a lot. And so he got a lot of exercise running to the coach and back to the quarterback to break the news to what the next play should be. After we graduated from high school in 1958, we kind of parted ways for a while. But we met up again over in Lakeland at Florida Southern College. And he was ahead of me by that time. My first year of college out of the gate, I stumbled, you might say. And so I wound up being a year behind. But my excuse for that is I met my wife and I was gravely or seriously distracted. And so the first year I pretty much didn't count for much except for my marriage to my bride. But anyhow, he was at Florida Southern ahead of us. And when we got there, he was in the citrus department and I was majoring in business, minoring in citrus. And Travis helped me out, showed me some things I needed to do. I needed to belong to a couple of different clubs, like the Soils Club, the Citrus Club, and so on. That gave you a leg up for a grade. And then he introduced me to the people in the citrus department. And then he moved on, went to another college, and I finished up there. Travis got advanced degrees. I didn't know that, but he was doing that while I had finished college and was working back in our family business in Sebring here. But he went on and got several other degrees. He became an ordained minister, and quite a number of things that I wasn't aware of until I'm reading about him in his obituary. We did a little bit of business together. He had a fruit hauling business, and he hauled fruit for us. And I was just a dumb farmer growing citrus. But anyhow, Travis was a dear friend, and he'll be sorely missed by a lot of folks in our city, our town, Sebring. He was all over the place helping people and initiating different things like the Rock facility, which is part of the First Baptist Church. And I don't know, many other things that he had a hand in getting things rolling. He was a doer, and he was all over the place helping people, marrying people. I even have a grandson that he married. Married his grandson and his wife. And anyhow, Travis was just a very busy person, a very compassionate person. He had a lot of foresight. He had good ideas that he implemented in his church and in his business. And I have a lot of respect for Travis. He was married a hometown girl, Kay Taylor, and the Taylors were friends of our family. We all worked together in the citrus industry in one way or another. And so when Travis finally came back to Sebring to settle down and stay, it was like having a homeboy come home. And we were happy that he did that. And we became acquainted in, we'll say the last 15, 20 years. We did a lot of traveling together, Travis and Kay, his wife Kay, and Bobby and I, we took trips to church conferences, and I forget, we probably made about 10 different trips, but they all had a spiritual emphasis. We took a cruise to Alaska, and one of the speakers, or the main speaker on this cruise, was a major minister at a big church, and I believe it was in Atlanta, Georgia. And like I said, we went to several, maybe 8 or 10 or so conferences. They were all church centered. Travis was an extremely decent Christian man, and he promoted Jesus Christ wherever he went. I was kind of surprised one day we were having, on one of our trips, we were having breakfast at a restaurant, and the waitress came up to the table, and first thing Travis said to her, before you take our order, I just wanted to ask you, do you have anything that I can pray for about you? And she was quite taken aback by that, but she came up with some, requests that she had, some needs that she had. And so Travis said, well, let's just pray right now. So we prayed before she took our order. And I'm sure that was a shock to her, to have somebody ask that. Is there anything I can pray for you today? And he was just that kind of a guy. He was spontaneous with his faith, and he'll be greatly missed by not only by his family, but his close friends and his church family.